Finance Committee meeting of Monday, June 27, 2016 to order. End of year business on the agenda for us this evening. So we have 3 end of year transfer requests and then 2 reserve fund transfer requests. So we'll go over the end of year transfer requests first, of which I said there are 3. The first one is for $44.73 to be transferred from public safety building maintenance and utilities to public safety building salaries. This was approved by the Board of Selectmen on June 8th. There's a second one for $1,351 for inspectional services expense to inspectional services clerical, and this is to offset a projected deficit. Again, this was approved 5-0 by the Board of Selectmen. And the third one is for $3,623.67 to be transferred from EMT training to EMT expenses. And this is for ambulance repair and needed medical supplies, front end and brakes, and restock IV supplies and medications. And this was approved by the Board of Selectmen 5-0. Chief, I guess number 1 and number 3 relate to your department. You want to give us a brief overview on what they are and why they're needed?
Sure. Number 1, the public safety building.
Yes.
Yeah, that's myself and Chief Smith. Those just the calculations were very slightly off. These are both really housekeeping issues. Calculations were slightly off. Some money for the expense side, the salary side, so we end the year with 0 balance. And similarly with the EMT accounts, the reverse with small sum from salaries to expenses. Both of the transportation ambulances need some repairs and some medical supplies as well that need to be purchased. And we are expecting a few other bills to come in.
So on the public safety building maintenance, is that something that is in the FY17 budget? Is that we're gonna have a problem next year?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And then on the EMT, is that a similar thing? Is this a?
I don't believe so. I mean, it's, in the big scheme of that budget, it's not really that tremendously a sum. As you remember, we were reporting during the budgetary process. We still have that IV pump issue looming ahead, but I still don't have any concrete information for that yet either, so we'll just have to wait and see really for FY17.
And so the additional work that was needed on the ambulances, is that a unusual occurrence in terms of needing it, or timing wise, or?
Yeah, they went up. It's more of a timing thing. They went up for service and found some front end stuff that very similar to when you take your car for inspection. Tire on its brakes, things like that. Happen to be right at the end of the year.
Any other questions on issue 1 and 3? No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone here to speak to issue 2, transfer 2, which is the inspectional services from expenses to salaries? Is there anybody in the room that knows maybe what was at the selectmen's meeting and kind of?
Yeah, it was. So it was, I don't have it.
Inspectional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of meetings and it overlapped, so that's why they needed some more money for. There were extra meetings, between zoning, conservation, and what have you, and because it wasn't budgeted, so that's why they're asking for bringing to the end of the fiscal year. Actually, there's a meeting tonight too.
Does it matter that it doesn't say board or committee on the top of it? I couldn't figure it out till someone said me what it was. I don't know what that says, so I don't know what it was until you said it. All the other ones have which board or committee we're talking about.
Oh.
I don't know if it matters. I'm just saying, I didn't, until you told me what it was, I couldn't read it. Not that, I'm not,
Yeah,
I just
no,
wanna make sure,
good point.
as long as it's still official, then fine, I just wanna make sure it's official.
Yeah, it's not really a, I don't know.
I don't know if that's required.
Who oversees the inspectional services is technically the board of selectmen.
Yeah, our board is the director, he's on vacation.
Right.
I can give him a call.
Well, I wonder about the question came about the form.
Form,
At the very
fair.
top of the form, it's, board and committee, and it's supposed to, board or committee in theory is submitting the request for funding. And I think maybe it's a form needs board, committee, or department, or something like that.
I'm just happening to notice, I don't know if it's,
Yeah, right.
right, that's fine.
Professional services.
My point is that hold it up for any kind of a technical issue.
Professional services.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just asking the question because I noticed it.
This is the new year for the inspection services, just
Right.
went into play.
No, it's, I just say there's nothing on it, so I don't know if it's official. I'm no problem with the thing, that's all I'm asking.
Official signed by,
That's what, that's what I'm saying, no one's can't question it, so I'm asking.
What's the committee's pleasure on these three requests?
I suggest we move on all three.
So, okay. Is there a motion to approve the end-of-year transfer of $44.73 for public safety maintenance to public safety building salaries?
So moved.
Is there a second? All right. Any more discussion? All those in favor? All right, 6 of us?
Yeah.
Issue number 2, or end-of-year transfer number 2, for $1,351 from inspectional services expenses to inspectional services clerical. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second down there. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Number 3, for $3,623.67 from EMT training to EMT expenses. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second? Any more discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Those are approved. Okay. Now, end of year reserve fund transfer requests. There are 2. First, just to recap where we are with the reserve funds. So I come on over to my colleague. So beginning of the year, we started with $125,000 appropriation. We have approved $4,189.61 to library, another $4,633 to the library, $19,120 to town administrator salary line item, $20,000 to street lighting bills. So currently, there is available $77,057.39. And separately, just the only other reserve fund that we have approved to move money was the sewer enterprise reserve fund, where $5,000 and then an additional $28,730 was approved to move, which leaving the sewer enterprise fund balance at $41,270. So, go back to the general fund, we have $77,057.39 that is available to be moved
For the next,
for the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes.
That's right, the 15th.
So we have till the 15th of July to close the books.
Close the book, right?
But in theory, the money would have to be
Something has to happen next 3 days.
between in the next 3 days, by June 30th, to be encumbered or,
All departments have brought their financials through the 24th, so we should be in pretty good shape.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay. So, first one is for $11,000 to be transferred to the overtime account of police, account 01210521, to cover costs associated with overtime expenditures for settlement with officers' resignation and salary while on administrative leave. The overtime account was in deficit because officer was paid while on administrative leave and cost to cover shifts until the end of the fiscal year. Second one is also related to police. It is for $3,084.62. This is to the medical account of the police department. This is to pay medical bills from previous on-the-job injuries. And the expenditure was caused by 2 on-the-job injuries and bills associated with a previous long-term injury. So, Chief, do you want to speak to these 2?
The first one administrative leave back on March 9th. After that long time, came to an agreement. We were gonna terminate him on June 1st. Before that, we came to an agreement to pay him until June 30th. That was late. It's nothing else after that. All that sent in deficit. Yeah, so it's the best interest for the town. We looked at everything. The ways our we can agree. It's the best thing. If we've done litigation, it can cost us a fortune. The second thing is OGI. We had 2 OGIs, plus I always want 2 OGI. They just keep coming. I mean, I can't predict how much these things are going to cost. We come to turn around tonight.
And our insurance doesn't cover, this is above and beyond our $20,000 deductible or whatever it is that we pay.
Every time I turn around,
So Chief, this officer that was paid while on administrative leave, is that a common practice? Because it sounds like we were trying to get rid of him.
normally they're paid less than indictment. Less than indictment, you stop paying.
Okay. There was never an indictment,
Never an indictment.
so we're obligated to pay. Can't claw that back.
No.
Okay.
After speaking with the attorneys, we just decided to go this route because if we'd done anything to stop him to pay, we would have been in litigation.
And this is related to basically just covering those shifts, because you're already hurting for manpower. So you have to make sure you cover it.
He says, I think that time to go forward.
Would we expect any legal bills to come in relative to this?
I mean, we have one more legal bill. I actually called today to see what it was going to be for June. We should be okay. If I think we have another 9,000 plus 9,100 or something in there. If we go over that, it's not going to be a lot, and we'll have the money. We'll do the transfer. But knock on wood, I think we're going to be okay.
That's what, this type of situation would be covered under the legal.
Professional technical
Yeah.
line.
Professional tackle, that's,
Yeah.
It's under this
Yeah.
year. Yeah, we had a couple of.
that's what that fund's for, these type of situations, correct? I'm trying to ask.
We had
Thanks.
a couple of personnel matters this year that hit that account a little harder than in the past. But like I said, if there is a deficit, don't check much.
That's what I'm saying, it wasn't like that, and I'm asking, that's professional technical isn't for stuff you know, and that's for stuff you don't know. Such as a personnel issue comes up, I know it's for both, that's what I'm saying, that's why we use it.
We follow, my policy is, because I know in the past the town's gotten into unnecessary trouble, is anytime any of my departments come in with a personnel matter, we call legal counsel and bring them into it and get the proper guidance from them.
And that's what, that is what the professional technical is there for.
That's what I was- yeah.
The professional technical line item, that 75,000, I think is the budget. 75,000. So it's for known things, contract negotiations, normal town meetings, things that we know that we're gonna have to call upon, and then other things that are just
No,
specific
that's-
to the,
that's just a
to the
question.
situation that
Well,
comes up.
someone like- That's what got me thinking, is do we have a cushion to cover it, to Susan's point, if something else is coming down the line?
Any other questions on these 2 reserve fund transfer requests?
Yeah, the 11,000, that's just to get you through what you know. And I saw it somewhere, and I heard you speaking earlier, that something could happen the next 3 days, and we wouldn't have any money to cover it. So would we, because if we're only transferring 13,000 out of the 77,000, in my mind is if we give him, I don't know, I'm making up a number, another 3,000, and then he doesn't use it, can't we then do a transfer request and move it back into our account so it can be sent off to?
Well, even if we were to, say, transfer 14,000 and he used 11,000, so he would have a $3,000 left in the,
Yeah.
left in balance, that would close out to the general fund
Okay.
and go against free cash,
Okay, so.
which is not free.
It just
and it's not
doesn't seem
cash.
to me that if you're for the next 3 days, granted, not much happens, but, you know, things happen. I'd rather have something out there then. And it doesn't seem the point, if you have 77,000 to hold it here, to hold him, saying, sweating it out, to give him enough money that you can, whereas now they think, you know, if something was to happen, I have to hold a prisoner or something, I'll have enough to cover it.
The state now makes those mandates, as you know.
Yeah.
Domestic violence arrests, you have to hold them for 6 hours before we can bail.
Yeah.
If I get an arrest tonight, there's only 3 guys in the shift. 3 guys and watch them all in tomorrow morning. It's just,
Oh, I agree, that's what I'm saying, I'd rather give you more, I'd rather give you a little bit more, because it's gonna come back.
So he's asking if you want to amend your request to add like $2,000, to make it 13, just to add a little bit of padding so that, he doesn't want it to come back in 2 weeks if you needed two grand more.
That would be great.
Right, because I'm not sure how that works, so I'm like, we have it now, take it now.
I could probably sleep better tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said getting up this morning, I hope the chief can sleep, because that worries me.
That's what keeps you up at night.
Yeah, if my police chief isn't sleeping, I'm scared.
So you want to amend your request, do you have those 3 copies? The 11,000. That one. And you have the 11,000 one.
Are you done with it?
Just cross out the 11, make it 13 and initial it.
Does the selectman have to see it or no?
No, these are just us, so this is
Oh,
not
that's
the
right,
select.
reserve, not, okay, yeah, sorry.
Does everybody understand what's going on, what he's... And yeah, if the money is not needed, I'm sure the chief won't use it just because he has it available now. It goes to, it's the same as if it's in the reserve fund, it closes out to the general fund, so.
Just hoping everybody listens and, oh, now I can go and do anything I want, because chief can hold me for 6 hours.
Yeah. The chief will hold you if you break the law. Exactly. The chief's men will hold you. Okay.
No fighting now.
All right. So is there a motion to approve the $13,000 from the reserve fund to the overtime account of the police department?
So moved.
Seconded? Any more discussion? All those in favor? Abstaining?
Yeah, because I came in late.
Yep. It's a 601. Next is to approve $3,084.62 from the reserve fund to the police medical account.
So moved.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Abstaining? 601. Okay. So no more NDA transfers, no more moving money, nothing happened in the next 3 days, and then we don't have to come back in 2 weeks. I want to formally welcome Bethany to the Finance Committee meeting. And you've been here, what, 2 weeks now? 3 weeks? Oh, so everything's nice and smooth and no issues, right? And it's been a nice transition? Okay. And do you need anything from the Finance Committee? I know you asked me the other day. Hopefully I gave you everything you were looking for and, okay. Cindy, this is your last meeting in that official capacity. You still have to come to every meeting and sit in that seat.
Yeah, exactly.
I may be sitting right here. You never know. Stay on your toes.
It's been a pleasure dealing with you from the Finance Committee. You've been very, very helpful to us in sharing things that we need to know, as well as making sure you get us the information in a timely manner. So I want to say thank you from the Finance Committee, and you've been a pleasure to deal with. That being said, we are scheduled to meet, when are we scheduled to meet?
The 11th,
July 11th.
and then the 14th.
So we're posted for July 11th and July 14th. I will communicate if I hear anything, probably, hopefully the Friday before, if there's anything that needs to happen, because at that point you should be in a good position. And we'll cancel those meetings if we have to, or if we don't need to meet.
Just for clarity, if I recall, if the selectmen are meeting, you folks can vote for it. There's no order to the vote.
It's supposed to be the Board of Selectmen first, but we have made exceptions in the past. And that's why we're scheduled to meet the 14th. So we can always, if need be, if it's a reserve fund, we can meet on the 11th. If it's an appropriation transfer, we can meet on the 14th.
Well,
Or if there's both, we'll meet on the 14th.
It could be, we could go in either direction, honestly.
And it's sort of whatever direction you tell us
Any
to.
impact on really anything.
Right,
As long as the two boards sign off by the 15th,
right.
she'll be happy.
We would only need 5, and that would be the only thing on our agenda. So we usually just stay in contact, and you let us know, hey, this came up, how do we want to handle it? Whatever you guys come up with, we'll work around it. But hopefully, we're in a position, I think last year we didn't have to meet. Maybe, I think we didn't have to meet in July last year. Minutes, is there a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting on June 20?
20.
June 20th? Mm-hmm. Wait. that's not- No.
June 6th,
June 6th.
sorry.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second down there?
I wasn't here, so I don't think it's appropriate for me
There
to.
you go. Any more discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? 5? 502. 502.
Yes, I'm abstaining. I didn't-
Just to confirm, those that, can you go to those that are up this year?
I think I am.
Yeah. Susan, Mike. Well, let me just make it simple. Everybody that's on this committee, if you need to be reappointed, you'd like to be reappointed, right? Nod your head yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Paul Lynch.
All right, I'll make sure that the moderator knows that anybody that's on the committee wants to be reappointed, so he'll submit the information to the town clerk's office, and between July 15th or July 16th, and whenever we meet again, you would need to just be re-sworn in if you're reappointed. I'll let you know.
Okay.
But I think that if you were both interim appointments that we did, you were done by the town moderator, but I think you may have to.
Replace somebody.
If you replace somebody in the finance committee,
Okay.
put you in the middle of the year, I think that then your term ends on July 15th.
Okay.
And then the moderator has to appoint you to serve out the balance. So it's just a formality of when the term is. I'll let you know if you need to get sworn in again.
Okay.
Other than that, we will not meet again until September unless an issue comes up that requires us to meet before. Typically, we would meet, the Monday after Labor Day will be our first meeting back for the fall session. Other than that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
She seconded that one. Any more discussion? All those in favor of adjourning?
So we don't have any meetings in August?
No, we take August off.
Oh.
Unless there's like